Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and I have a story here that is interesting. I don't actually think it will be that surprising when we go through it. It's about Suella Braverman, and she, of course, she's spitting feathers at the moment. It seems as though everyone on the Tories side is totally against her. They don't want her to be leader. Kimmy Badenoch has a go against her. She, of course, is outspoken. She's on the right of the party, and the party seems to be wanting to redefine itself as a centrist party. And the likes of JRM, Jacob Rees-Mogg, are coming out saying if they do that, they're finished. There's people who are still there on the right of the party who are giving serious thought now of just leaving it, going to reform, which I think, if they are to the right of the Tories, is probably the best thing they can do, because one, it gives them a natural home, and secondly, it legitimises reform by having big grown-up politicians. And as long as they accept that they're not yet leader or anything like that, they're just going in as, members, that's absolutely fine. But it does give that sort of broader base, and it stops reform being a one-party state. However, at the moment, she is sitting there and she is just not taking prisoners, and she's spilling the beans. And of course, when you get very upset politicians like Suella spilling the beans and telling people exactly what's going on, exactly what it's like, it's always brilliantly interesting. So what she was talking about today, or this evening, in fact, was that she kept attempting, as Home Secretary at the time, she kept attempting to reduce legal migration now, not just illegal stuff, but the legal migration. As she said, these numbers are far too high. We give people legal routes, which is fine, but there's just too many of them. She wanted to reduce this, and she was stopped by Rishi Sunak. He was deliberately stopping her, throwing sticks into the spokes kind of thing, undermining her even in cabinet. What a way to run a country, eh? When you're undermining your own Home Secretary as Prime Minister. Why did you appoint her if you can't agree with her? Well, she's been pointing all this out and saying that she doesn't know why. She suspects that there must have been a reason for him to do this. She can't work out quite what it is yet. But she said it was totally changing the country. And she's right. And this is why I do admire and like her. Which is also why I think she'd do very well in reform. Those views she's strongly held, and now she's risking everything by saying them. Now, because of these revelations, there are many in the party that are now going to Rishi Sunak and saying, Rishi, you have the power. Get rid of her. Get her out of the Tories. Get her disbarred from being a member of the Tories. Well, of course, they're saying this because apparently Rishi's got the power. You've got to remember, Rishi is powerless. This is a man who phoned each one of the 175 Tory MPs who lost their seat and personally apologised for being a shit leader and having the wrong ideas and having a terrible campaign. He's lost all respect. He's lost all power. Nobody's listening to him. And remember, he can't exactly go to the membership and say, give me the authority, because the membership didn't want him. The membership didn't vote for him. The membership had him thrust upon them. And they didn't like it. And that was telling, because come that election, they reminded the Tories who really has the power in the Tory party. And it ain't the Prime Minister, and it ain't the MPs. It's the Tory members generally, and the voters at large in particular. And they said, on your bike, son. So I don't think Suella will be thrown out of the party, but I do think there's a very good chance she'll pack up her kit in her old kit bag and sod off over to reform. And I, for one, will welcome that. As indeed would those of the people in reform. After all, she'd bring another seat. Anyway, thank you very much. Hope that's been of interest. Take care. Goodbye.